the most important piece that you could be doing right now, whether you're okay with showing houses or not, is honestly simply staying in contact and building relationships with the people in your circle. So a piece of the advice that I'm always giving folks is please stay in contact with your database, especially now more than ever, right? Because right now, a lot of people are saying my business is slow. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to take it to the next level. I don't know how to get people out to see houses. I don't know how to let folks know that I'm is still doing business, that I'm willing to go show houses. Some agents aren't, that's okay. But for those of us that are willing, I'm totally willing. I'll be happy to go show a house. I got gloves, I got masks, I'm ready to go. Like I'll wear a bubble if I have to, just to go get work done, right? And so the most important piece that you could be doing right now, whether you're okay with showing houses or not, is honestly simply staying in contact and building relationships with the people in your circle. So, I'm a true believer in your power eight. You have a power eight who's your true inner circle. And each of those eight have a power eight. So if you do a really good job with your power eight and you really, really stay in contact with them, have great relationships with them, and let them know what you do for a living, right? Hi, my name is David. I sell houses, right? So very simply, those folks will become your biggest cheerleaders, right? And your power eight will always refer you business from their power eight. So I want you to think about that 8 times 8, right? But then we're in a whole new world now where folks got 5,000 followers on Facebook and, another 20,000 or 30,000 on Instagram. And it's just kind of like insane. So people are messaging all the time. How do you, as a real estate professional, stay in contact with all these people? And so one of the pieces that I wanted to bring to the table, we had a good conversation with Randy, who's a senior exec at Chime. Chime is a top CRM. We did that a couple weeks ago. And we talked about how to take that top CRM and utilize it so that you can generate more business by creating drip campaigns and so forth. But how do you get people into that CRM to begin with, right? How do you get people to vouch, raise their hand and say, I'll come to your website and register, right? So some of the things that I want Carlos to touch on today, and I don't know what you prepare, Carlos, I really don't, but some of the things I want Carlos to touch on today is A, funneling people to you, and B, staying in contact with them, how to really automate it. And we want to create automation because let's face it, we're human beings and we're only capable of so much, each one of us at a different level, right? And so if you've got 5,000 people in your database, right? Like I have a telephone that has over 4,500 contacts. I'd rather put those folks on automated messaging than try to get from A to Z, right? And when I tell people go A to Z on your phone, that could be a part of it, right? But not everyone has 4,500 contacts on their phone. Some folks have 200 contacts on their phone. You can go to A to Z probably on a daily basis, making those calls, right? So Carlos, if you could, Mr. Miami Marketer, Mr. Automation Expert Extraordinaire, help us out a little bit. Tell us who you are, where you're from, how you got into this business, and what you're going to leave us with today.
All right. Absolutely, man. Good to go. But you can hear me loud and clear?
Yes,
we're good?
Loud and clear. Rock and roll,
okay,
man.
We got David, Esterina, Tat. Can you guys hear me? You guys on the chat? I'm looking on this side. Make sure everyone's good to go. There could be a little bit of a delay. So I'm hoping that we'll get people. All right, cool. Yes, loud and clear. Lina, Ramon, perfect. All right, so there was one time I just did an entire presentation and like 30 minutes in, and then I realized that nobody could hear anything I said, and then people were just dropping their life. So I learned that the hard way. So I want to make sure that people can actually respond right away. So, all right, what's up? How are you? My name is Carlos Vazquez, and I run a company called Miami Marketer, and we specialize in building marketing automation systems that capture people's email addresses and then sends out follow-ups to try to get that person to the next step in your sales process, whether it's to fill your calendar with a bunch of hot leads or trying to get them to buy a product or sign up for a course. So I've been doing this professionally since 2003. And it all started with a prank call to Fidel Castro. I ended up volunteering to do the morning show website for Enrique Santos and Joe Ferrero. And then what ended up happening is that we ended up prank calling Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro called us un mariconzón, and then I bought mariconzón.com. And then everyone that heard about the call, they went ahead and I ended up capturing everyone that wanted to hear the call. And we ended up building an email list of over 250,000 email addresses. And then that's where my whole digital marketing career really took off, because the radio station said, hey, can you go ahead and number one, help us continue building lists? And number two, can you help us keep nurturing our list? So that way, whenever we have a sponsor, we can sell some ads on the email. We're not getting sent to spam and all that stuff. So my job was basically to keep nurturing these people to hopefully try to get them to take advantage of one of our sponsors' ads. And now, basically, since that technology was primarily for the bigger businesses that were able to afford the technology, now there's so many tools out there for no matter what size you are, that I'm able to basically share what's worked for $1 million campaigns and use it for any size budget, any type of campaign. So like David mentioned earlier, I'm a U.S. Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine. So if you ever encounter a Marine, never call him an ex-Marine, because there's no such thing. And we are U.S. Marine veterans, if anything, if we're not currently active duty. So with that said, we'll go ahead and jump in right away. So when David asked me, hey man, what kind of topic would you like to share about? And one of the most common topics I've been asked about, especially now during the pandemic, is how do I keep in contact with my leads or my potential leads, although there's not much that I can do with them, especially now. And that's where automation comes into play. In other words, you don't necessarily have to consistently be trying to sell someone something.
Right.
However, I like to use a strategy called stealth closes or stealth pitches. And what that means is basically provide value in a way where you're giving something up front, and then you throw in oh, by the way, if you need help with this, I'm more than happy to help you with that. So therefore, the primary objective of the message or the contact is to give value, and then, by the way, I can also help you with your XYZ services. So if it's real estate, I can help you find your next home, or I can still help you sell your home even during the pandemic. Especially now, we can throw in the word even during the pandemic at the end of a sentence, and people feel like it's so relevant right now that people are like, okay, he can probably help me with whatever it is that I need. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to this is unlike a regular session that I normally have. It's whenever I have a session, I usually just stand in front of an audience and kind of just draw things on the board. I'm going to go ahead and share actual execution, meaning I'm going to walk you through me building some stuff in front of you so you can get a better idea of how it's supposed to look. So therefore, I think that in the recording for the Facebook Live, you can always go back to it to kind of just reference what we just went over. To kind of start it off, I went ahead and I prepared a file here. Hang on a second. And I'm going to share right now in the chat, because I know not everyone's going to be able to stay for the entire thing, but I've done a little bit of pre-homework for everyone. So that way, all the links that I'm going to be sharing, hold on a second.
Yeah, if you send it to me there, I'll grab it and send it over to Facebook as well.
Okay, cool. it's a Google Share link. It's a PDF. It's all the links of everything I'm going to be using. Let me share my screen now so you can see what it is. I also, hold on one second.
Are you there? Looks like Carlos froze or I froze. Can everybody else out there hear? Oh, he did. We lost Carlos. All right, he should put back in here in a second. Don't worry about it, guys. He should be back in a second. Just stand by, guys. There you go. Why'd you leave us, bro?
Oh my God. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. The moment I clicked on share screen, my computer just logged me out. Let me try one more time. Hang on a second.
I was sharing your document. I thought I broke something.
No, I just clicked on share and it disappeared. All right. I'm sharing my screen again, but it logged me out completely. But let me go ahead and kind of just open all the old links that I had open. All right. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to kind of just walk you through the strategy from a bird's eye view so you can have a better understanding of how all this works together. So let me go ahead and go to strategy sessions. And this one is called the nurture strategy. And this is essentially a 12-week strategy where you're basically sending out an email at least once a week with value in advance in hopes that someone may want to book a time on your calendar. That's the way I like to schedule more people in my calendar. Come up as if I'm not trying to sell anything, but then give them value. So that way, if they feel like they need me, they have a calendar they can easily book. All right. I'm very big on a booking calendar system because it's very hard to coordinate times between people, especially if you're sending an email. Hey, can we meet on Wednesday at 2 p.m.? And then you wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes later to get a response that says, no, I can't, but I could do Thursday at 1. Then you go to your calendar and then you realize that's not good for you. Then you set another one. So you're basically paying like when's a good time ping pong. You're playing ping pong on when's the best time. So I always like to have my calendar software ready to go so people can just book right away. So first thing I want to do is I want to show you that whenever we have someone that wants to be a hot lead, in other words, they want to talk to me, I like to have a calendar software ready to go at all times so that way I can easily send a link to them and they can book whenever's ready, whenever
What's
they're
some
ready.
of the calendar software that you're familiar with? I use Calendly.
Calendly is a great one. It's called Book Like a Boss, and the reason why, and the link is in the file that I sent to everybody.
That just
Full disclosure, these are affiliate links. Book Like a Boss also has a lot of other features that Calendly does not have. You can also charge for your time as well, and this also just kind of keeps everything nice and nice and tight. And they have a free version, a paid version, whatever. So Calendly is my favorite. It also directly integrates with Zoom, so you can create Zoom rooms automatically with the password. So it's so many cool things about it, right?
cool.
So calendar software, and then after they book, they're usually taken to some type of confirmation page that gives them the instructions of what's going to happen next. So this page will basically link them to a confirmation page. Now, if you are a Facebook advertiser or if you have a Facebook page, everyone gets the ability to create what's called a Facebook pixel. You want to put the pixel on both of these pages because you're able to retarget people based off of if they land on the calendar page but didn't land on the confirmation page, or they landed on the confirmation page. So I put your pixel on these pages right here. So this is where we want to send everyone eventually, right? So that's the back end. Now, this strategy is essentially like this. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to send email number 1. All right. Email number 1 is going to be talking about a specific topic. I'm going to share with you how we're going to do this. And then from that email, it's going to be connected to some type of sharing link, right? And this will be very familiar to you if you use something like Bitly in the past. But what I'm going to share with you is going to put it on steroids, right? So you're going to go ahead and share a link, which will take them to a specific page, like a blog article, right? And then
Or a listing.
Not a listing yet, because what we're trying to do is we want to try to give value up front without coming off as if we're trying to sell something.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and send an email that uses some type of share link software. And then from that article, it links to your calendar page. Okay. So that's that. Right. And then we're going to replicate this entire thing a total of 12 times, but just for the sake of my screen, let's pretend there are 12. Right. So in other words, 3 months worth of nurturing for your list.
Right. Once a week.
Right. At least. Okay. So we got that, and we're going to connect that, and I'm going to do it again. So it's going to be like this. Hold on a second. My OCD gets the best of me. I like to have straight lines. All right, cool. Cover and align. All right, so
I noticed that, but I didn't want to say it.
So we're gonna have that. We're gonna have that. All right, and then every single one of these bad boys are gonna go link to here. Okay. There we go. And this one's gonna like that. All right, so imagine 12 of these right here, right? So what the part that I get a lot of concern about is people get concerned about is, oh man, does that mean I have to create 12 articles or 12 blog articles? Well, the thing is that you can do that, but you don't want to waste time creating content that nobody cares about. So I like to leverage content that is already proven to be valuable or shareable. So that way I know that the person that I send it to may appreciate it and or share it with their audiences. Okay.
And to the folks out there, you're not going to remember this. So if I were you, I'd take a little screenshot, because this is the simplest form of capturing somebody's information right here. And for most of you, it's a free form of capturing somebody's information. Almost every one of you better have a website. Let me not say you should have you better have a website. And so if you want to send mass emails up to 2,000 people free on MailChimp, right? Then MailChimp could direct that to the custom media. The custom media could then direct to your website on a blog article. Now imagine if somebody lands on your website, they read your blog, they like your blog, they feel like you're somebody that's professional, and they decide to come explore your website. Now they're exploring properties, or they're exploring other things, or whatever it is that you sell. You know, you guys that track me and follow me know I always say lollipops, bicycles, or houses. It doesn't matter. The strategy remains the same. If I want to be the king of selling lollipops, this is my strategy right here in creating automation, right? And these are automated things you can create on MailChimp. You can schedule 12 emails out for 12 weeks. You could sit down for a few hours and knock out the next 3 months of automated connecting.
Right. Right.
Now, Calendly and Schedule Like a Boss, right? That's what it's called.
Book Like a Boss. Yeah.
Book Like a Boss both offer a free version as well, by the way. So for a lot of you out there that are thinking, oh my God, this is going to cost me a ton of money, I just said free like 6 times.
Right. You can start off with free, but eventually you're going to want to take advantage of the real advanced feature. And then even if you do pay, you're not going to be paying a ton of money. I mean, you're talking about maybe like $9 a month or something. And if it's generating you leads and sales, it's well worth it, especially something like this. So this is the bird's eye view of that strategy. And now I'm going to walk you through how to avoid having to create content, because we don't have time to waste.
Carlos, before we go there, right? Custom media, explain what that would look like. What's that piece? Email is obvious. We send an email out saying that we have a great blog article for them to read. But what's the custom media piece?
Oh man. Okay. I'm going to give you a small taste, but it's going to make more sense when I walk you through the details. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to share content that is relevant to our audience, but we want to make sure it's content they care about. In other words, we don't want to reinvent the wheel trying to figure out what our audiences want. Okay. So the custom media aspect of it is basically that bit.ly sharing feature that you normally would shorten a link with. Because like there's some web addresses that the website is so long, but you could use a software like Bitly to go ahead and shorten that link, and then it'll take them to the actual article. But this one is a little bit different. And the reason why is because we want the ability to not necessarily share the link, but we want to be able to put our calendar link on someone else's blog page. And that's what that custom media is meant to do. That custom media allows us to grab something, let's say from like Zillow.com, right? And we can put our calendar on Zillow's website without breaking any rules. And that's what that custom media is meant to do. All right. So it'll make more sense when I jump into the details about it. Okay. So first thing is first, I in that share file that I share with everyone, there's a link in there to a planner. And I'm going to pull that planner here. Hold hold on a second. Let me go ahead and, since I had to restart my login here from pressing share, all of my windows closed. But everyone should have access to this planner that you're going to see on your screen here. So basically, it's going to go ahead, and I'm going to put it here in the chat as well, direct to the planner, so that way, in case it's not easy to access. ¿Dónde está? Participants, attendees, chat. Where is the chat? Okay, no, esto.
Because you're sharing the screen. It's on the top. You got to go. I think it's
so. I found it. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the link directly to this Google Sheet that you're seeing here, and everyone should be able to access it.
All right, I'm going to take that. I'm going to move it over to social media as well.
Okay, cool. So this is how I like to prepare all the content that I'm going to share, right? So week 1 all the way to week 12, then you're going to have the headline, the link, the share link, and the quick summary. It's all going to fit together in a second, all right? So for week 1, I'm going to go to a website called buzzsumo.com, all right? BuzzSumo is a free website, but they only allow you 3 searches a day, right? And what this does, if you type in here real estate, I'm just going to give you a basic example, all right? BuzzSumo is going to show me the top websites that people are already sharing on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Reddit, so on and so forth. So U.S. orders up to a year-long break on mortgage payments. Listen, your target audience, if you're a real estate agent, that's a relevant article for them. And it's coming from npr.org. So I'm going to go ahead and check out the article.
I just want to, that just scared the crap out of me right there.
What was that?
Scared the crap out of me. Oh, man. It's a whole new class next week, guys.
we got to get creative, right? So this is very relevant, and it's shared. It's listen, I don't have to prove to you that this is something people care about. It's already here. It's telling you that people are sharing it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this article headline, and I'm going to go ahead and go to my sheet and paste it in here, because that is important as a part of the strategy. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab the link right up here and paste it right in here. Okay. Now, we need to create a quick summary of this article. But how much time do you have, if you're trying to do 12 different links? So if you want a shortcut, this isn't perfect, but it's pretty good. There's a free website, absolutely free. It's called Summary, and it's in the links that I sent to you guys. And if you go to Summary and paste the web address here, this website will automatically summarize that article right here, okay? Right now, I have it set up for 7 sentences. Let me just go ahead and put 2 sentences. New summary. There we go. U.S. orders up to a year long. So this can literally probably be used in your email, okay? So let's do 1 sentence instead. And now U.S. orders up to a year-long break on mortgage payments. The federal government is telling lenders to lower or suspend mortgage payments for up to 12 months for homeowners. That right there, I'm going to copy that. You may have to tweak it because it's still computer, doing it. And I'll paste that right over here in the quick summary, right over here. So I'm going to do my homework up front with these articles, right? BuzzSumo has a second article. Meet the real estate investor who owns 18 properties at 26 years old. Okay, that's relevant because look, 304,000 shares amongst different social mediums. Formerly homeless, this CEO of her own real estate firm is now building a $14 million affordable housing project. You still got to do research, find those relevant articles. The problem is that this website, BuzzSumo, although it's amazing, it's pricey if you actually want to get it, but it's good. It's really, really good as far as what it does. There's an alternative. Well, by the way, hold on. Let's go back to the main website, buzzsumo.com. When I say pricey, this is pricey, especially if you don't do as much content. Or maybe for an agency that does this often, it's not a big deal, but they charge $99 a month if you pay for the year up front. I'm sorry, a month. But if you pay for the year up front, it comes out to $79 a month. However, in the link I sent you guys, there's an alternative called Social Animal. And they do have a plan, which is $41 a month. However, the link that I gave you guys in the list, for only $69 one time, you can get a lifetime access to this website right here.
The Social Animal?
To Social Animal.
Nice.
Right? And I believe you get the agency.
That's in the link you provided.
Yes. Right. In that PDF document I sent you guys, I'll resend it again if you need to. But that one right there has all of the links, and this is a temporary deal because it's already been out for about 2 weeks already. So in a few more like days, maybe 2 or 3 days, the deal will be gone. The website's called AppSumo, and they're like the Groupon of software. And Social Animal does exactly the same thing BuzzSumo does, and it's a lifetime deal. You'll never have to pay for the software again. So let me just show you real quick how it looks. Let me log in. Real estate. Look, J-Hope's Real Estate Savvy has earned him $1 billion in profits, 1.1 million shares. So this does exactly the same thing as BuzzSumo, right? You can filter by the last 24 hours, the last week, the last month. So if you want to come up with content that's a little bit more relevant, you can filter. Say again?
Which one's better?
Social Animal, in my opinion, is better, especially for the price. BuzzSumo, they overcharge you, in my opinion.
Okay.
This one comes with so many features already, and it's a lifetime deal.
Okay.
So, yeah, in this case, this one is bueno, bonito, y barato for sure, for now.
Okay.
But they charge $166 a month for it. So it's basically almost the same price. These guys just have a deal right now. Okay. So do your homework and get all of your links. That's what I would do. Right? Now that we have let's pretend that we have all our homework and we have it ready to go, right? Let's just.
Hey, let me get a quick second. For those of you that are tuning in, somebody mentioned I have not received the link in my email. Carlos doesn't have your email to send out a link, guys. So the links are in the chat box and they're also on the Facebook Live, please.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
All good. All good. So, okay. So that takes care of that. Do your homework, get the summaries. The summary is absolutely free. This is, as a matter of fact, this summary website, you can use it on anything. You can actually upload a text file, a Word doc. You could actually use it for school. I mean, I used it for school when I was getting my master's degree. I would use this software to kind of help me summarize a bunch of things and just tweak it to be my own, right? So, and it's 100% free on this one. Okay. So we got the content ready. Now we got to set up that custom media that David was asking about, right? So let's pretend you already have your calendar booking link. And in my case, it'll probably be, let me go to my link right here. It'll look something similar. Let me just grab it real quick. Appointments. I have a bunch of different calendar types depending on what it is. But when I don't know what the objective is for the call, I created a general one called Let's Connect. So that way I know that I have no idea what these people want, but I can create a calendar for people who want automations, people who want help with Facebook ads, people who want help with just strategy. You can create sales, rentals, buying homes. You can create different calendar types.
So let me break this down for all the real estate pros out there listening. Here's an opportunity for you, especially right now, that you probably take on as many Zoom calls as you want, right? This little Zoom that we're doing right now, first of all, everyone for the most part is using Zoom for free. There are very few of us that are actually paying for Zoom so that we can have bigger features like this one that we're providing for you. But just to do a Zoom call is free. So, and there's Zoom, there's freeconferencecall.com. There's all kinds of different ones that you can use that'll give you an opportunity to connect with potential buyers and sellers, right? This is an opportunity for you to have that listing presentation or that buyer's consultation through Zoom without having to sit in front of them, without having to put anybody's health at risk. So, and believe it or not, a lot of folks are home and they ain't got nothing better to do than to talk about their future purchase when this whole thing, is over or sooner. So here's an opportunity for you to create a calendar link that says, you could be creative and say something like buy with me, or, schedule your buyer's consultation now and just call it buyer's consult, or, listing meeting, or listing conversation, or let's sell your home, or, you know what I mean? You can call it and be creative with whatever you want and give yourself the time that you feel necessary, whether it be an hour, hour and a half, or whatever the case is. Because remember that these softwares connect to your calendar. So you're going to be living off your calendar. Anytime somebody books an appointment, it's going to automatically go in your calendar. So if you have a haircut at 2 p.m. and you don't put it in your calendar, there's a high probability that somebody will book you at 2 p.m., right? So we want to make sure that you are truly living off your calendar so that you can book, or clients or potential clients can book themselves on your calendar link. Think about that, okay? Think about that when you think about your automated emails that go out, your CRMs, your everything else. If people could just book themselves for an appointment, how great would that be?
Right. It's great for everyone involved. You, because you don't have to worry about you having to look at your calendar to book people on it. It also respects your existing calendar, so that way if you already have things already booked, no one can book in that spot. You can avoid double bookings. And a software like this, whether it's Calendly or Book Like a Boss, it can add what's called buffers, meaning you can set up 30-minute buffers before a call and 30 minutes after a call, so that way the system won't book anyone too close to each other, so that way you're not trying to rush through calls. So many different things. And if you don't have this, you're really missing out. And it's free. Like, you can use the free version and get started and then grow from there. So I have several calendar types depending on different scenarios. But for the most part, when I don't know what they need or what they want, they end up just accessing this Let's Connect calendar. And you'll notice that right in here, it's very clean, very simple. It doesn't look ugly. And they can, like, for example, the 23rd, right now, you can book 11 a.m., 4 p.m., or 4:30, and everything else is grayed out. 27th, which is Monday next week, 10:30, 11, so on and so forth. So basically, they can book well in advance if they want, right? So you have your calendar set up. The next part is that what David asked me earlier, custom media. That's with a software called Rocket Link. Rocket Link allows me, because if you notice, NPR is not my website. I don't have access to their stuff. I have no way of adding my stuff on there unless I guess I can spend money on ads to put it on here, but that's a waste of everyone's time. It's costly, and that's where Rocket Link comes into play. Rocket Link is very similar to Bitly. However, it gives us the ability to put a pixel, like if you have a Facebook pixel, Google pixel, LinkedIn pixel, an extra code, you can basically put your pixel on an NPR site, right? Virtually, not literally. Also, you get the ability to create what's called a call to action. And a call to action is where you can watch this. So let's go ahead and put NPR. Hopefully the NPR doesn't block me on this one. So NPR, we're going to put, let me just create a link here. So new link. I'm going to grab the link that I did for my homework research. I'm going to paste the actual web address here. Okay. And then I'm going to add my Facebook pixel. And I'm going to go ahead and add a CTA. And I'm going to choose my book a call to action. If I click on save, let's see if it works.
It's call to action.
Call to action, right. And now this is the new link that I share, which is very similar to Bitly, but it's different. Copy. Now if I use that web address, let's see what happens. Okay. Look at that, bottom left. Oh, man, damn it. NPR blocks me off. But you notice at the bottom left, my pop-up shows up. Want to build one of these for your business? Let's schedule a free discovery call. That's why you have to do your homework up front to make sure that link you can add your CTA on top of it.
Right. So let's explain to folks why some links would decline that.
All right. So why would someone decline that? So there are some businesses out there that know that this could be done by marketers. So like, for example, the Digital Marketing Social Media Examiner, which is a big digital marketing site, they know that this can be done. So what they do is that they disable the ability to add call to actions on their site. So they'll disable it. So when you do your homework, one of those things that you want to do is test to see if you can add your CTA with Rocket Link, right? Because that right there can either literally break the link or you can use it. Let me find you another one. Forbes, you can do Forbes. Let's say Forbes.com. Let's do a search on Forbes and let's do real estate. Watch this. Let's try. Now might be the time to invest in real estate if you're a cash buyer. Okay, let me grab that link. Rocket Link, new link, set it all up. I'm going to put my CTA on there and choose my book a call. Save. Am I missing something here? No. Okay, cool. So now let me go ahead and grab this link. Forbes should work. Look at this. This is not my site. This is Forbes. Look at my pop-up in the bottom left.
Nice.
So that's what a call to action does. So if you're going to go ahead and this is that link, you're going to grab that link and put it in your homework sheet right here, because this is what you're going to prepare right here. So you do your homework, you set up all your links, and now when you're sending people to these links like Forbes, you can literally say in the email, hey, I found this article on Forbes that talks about now is the best time to buy if you are a cash buyer. And then you link with your specific link. And when they come in here, you'll have a call to action that says, hey, need help finding your next property? Click here to book a time. And then when they click that button, it takes them to your calendar, right? And if you have a calendar set up, it'll take them to your whatever calendar you set up over here. All right. So that's basically all the components, putting it all together as far as preparing your homework and setting up all your links. Once you do this for 12 weeks up front, now you're just already built a system that is not intrusive. You're giving value, yet you're still trying to generate leads without coming off as if you're trying to sell them.
And
right?
guys, just so you know, we all know that the news changes all the time, especially in real estate and especially right now. So we talk about putting 12 weeks in advance, and that works for some businesses and it may not work for others, right? So in the coaching business, like myself, where I'm coaching real estate professionals to grow their businesses, I could do 12 weeks in advance because I could come up with, the next year's worth of topics and put them out there. And then in between, shoot out things that are happening in real time. Mm-hmm. You guys out there, like this could be as simple as first thing you do Monday morning, right? Wake up Monday morning, check what's popping on Forbes News or Miami-Dade, county news or whatever the case is, and put out a really good article, put out a really good blog connected to your calendar, and just schedule an email to go out to folks that day. Very simple. And once a week, you can do this, or you could go crazy and be an animal and do it 3 times a week, you could do it every day if you want to, there are folks out there that are doing it every day and are highly, highly, highly successful. I know real estate coaches that are doing it every day. The Tom Ferrys, the Grant Cardones, the Tim and Julie Harrises, the Jay Kinders. Those are real estate coaches that are out there and they're pushing emails out every single day. And it's very much in this platform, in this style. It's a normalized looking email, not too many graphics, not too many hoopla, just simply that short summary and shot out with a link to the page. They go, the person goes to the page, they can see the article, they see the connection on the bottom to connect with you. They click on that because they want to meet with you and talk about real estate. Simple as that.
Right. And I like how you said that. When you write your emails, you don't want to put a bunch of graphics in there. You don't want to make it look like a newsletter. What's working now is making that person feel like you actually wrote the email and keeping it short and sweet and interesting that they want to click. So there's rules when it comes to emails, and this is not something I wrote down in the sheet. However, when you are creating a subject line, you're trying to sell the open. So you got to write a subject line that is intriguing enough that makes them want to open the email. The goal of the body of the email, the goal is to sell the click. You want those people to click on something in the email. And the reason why is because Gmail, Outlook, all these major email providers, they will recognize that when you send an email, if someone is not either replying or clicking on a link, then they associate you as a promotion. So what will happen is that in the future, you're going to end up either in the promotions folder or in the spam folder or the other folder, right? So I like to go ahead and write my emails in a way where, hey, I saw this. I like to put their first name in the subject line, put their first name in the body, and say, hey, David, I saw this article on Forbes and I thought of you. And then put the headline, put a quick little summary, and then a link right then and there, right? And that person's going to be like, that's interesting. Let me click. And then it takes them there. Right. So I wrote an email right in the same doc over here. Subject line, hey, first name, right? Usually the software that you can use will grab the first name and put it there. But you have to have their first name up front. All right. And here's one quick email I wrote. I was browsing the web and I found this article that I think should be helpful. Then there's the headline right here with a link. It talks about the summary, right? And already X amount of shares. Talk soon, whatever. So it doesn't feel like I'm selling anything. It just feels like I'm giving you value. But if you click on it, you're going to get my pop-up. By the way, do you need help with this? And it takes them to that, right? The headline for the call to action, I wrote one here. It says, already got too much on your plate? Remember that at the bottom of the screen, it'll say, where are you, Forbes? Where's Forbes at? Oh, wait, let me go back to this one. On the pop-up, the headline right here, want to build one of these for your business, you can replace that with already got too much on your plate. And then most likely they're going to say, yeah, internally in their head. Yeah. Let's book a time and I'll develop a customized plan to help you, whatever it is, help you find the next home, sell the next home, find your next property, whatever your services
your
are.
specialty is, yeah.
So keep it simple. Don't get overcomplicated. Don't do too much. And you will see the results come in. So that's how I set up the emails. That's how I set up the content. And that's how I leverage other people's valuable content to my advantage.
Now, let's say, Carlos, I'm a writer, right? And I go and I write a blog once a week, whatever the case is. And I write a blog about what's happening in my farm area, right? Let's say I sell South Miami and Pinecrest. That's my little cusp, right? Mm-hmm. And I want to write a blog about what's happening in Miami, what's happening in Pinecrest specifically, such and such restaurant, this and that, blah, 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 new store opens, hello, right? I can take that blog, put it on my website, right? And I can also drive that little calendar pixel to that, right? Or it's not called a pixel, but I can drive that calendar link to the bottom of that blog that I created for myself, and people can still book themselves, right?
Absolutely. So you could do that, but if it's your blog, you also have the option. So like, for example, let me go to my blog. Let me see if I have it here. So there are plugins. If you're using something like WordPress, WordPress allows you to create, let me see, let me log in here. It allows you to pepper specific calls to action within the article. So like in between a paragraph, it goes say, hey, got too much on your plate? Click here, let's schedule a time. So like within your article, the plugin will automatically inject that call to action in different parts of your article already. And on the right-hand side, we usually call that a sidebar. A sidebar is usually like a big banner image on the right-hand side that advertises something. And that's a great opportunity to say, hey, don't do this by yourself. Let me help you with that. And that's how you can still try to drive people to book a calendar appointment, right? So pepper it in your article and then have it on your right-hand side. I like to leverage, and also there's pop-up software as well that can slide that pop-up also, just like we did with the other ones.
Right.
But you won't need Rocket Link for that. A Rocket Link is primarily leveraging other people's content to your advantage.
Okay.
Right. So there's several ways to program something like this. David, you mentioned MailChimp earlier. That's free. If you're going to do something like this, you need to have something that can send personalized emails individually. You
Right.
don't want to do the BCC thing. And what
Right.
I mean by that is have everyone on your list and then just copy everyone's name into the BCC section, because what people will see is, number one, you're not personalizing the email. So that's
Right.
not going to be attractive. And number two, people will see BCC, their email address. So they're going to automatically assume that you didn't send this to them.
No, you
Right?
sent it to a million people. And there are ways to do that, guys, if you're using CRMs, such as, KV Core and the Boss One and Boomtown and Sync and Chime, and there are ways to customize those emails where they say hello David, or hi David, right? And it's a bracket, it says first name, but when that email goes out, it puts their name in there. But there are also ways to do that on MailChimp, Constant Contact, and other mail servers. Just look into it and learn how to do it. So that way you can choose a list of 10,000 people, but each and every email will have that person's first name in there. The trick is to make sure that you have their first name in there, because if you have the wrong name or you don't have a name, it's not going to look pretty.
Right. And sometimes there's, like, I think MailChimp does do this. You want to make it so that, because sometimes when people give you their information, or when you put it in, you end up putting their first name in all capital letters, or combining first name and last name together. So if it's all in caps, it's going to say, hey, Carlos, in big letters. They're going to automatically know it's automated. So there's software that will only capitalize the first letter and lowercase everything else. So that way it feels more natural, even if the person put it in all caps. Another trick that I like to do when it comes to my emails is that in the subject line, I like to throw in an emoji also, because you are competing against all of the other emails that are already in there. So I throw in an emoji at the beginning of it, something that's relevant to the article. Hey, Carlos, I thought that ... whatever. And they're going to what? Thought what? And then they're going to click it. Now I sold the subject is meant to sell the open. And then the link inside the email is meant to sell the click. So, all right. That's a lot of information already. I'm glad this is recorded. I'm glad this is live. There's so much more we can do with this, but I want to kind of just, if it's okay with you, David,
we got to kill it in the next 7 minutes, because I know folks got things to do, and we try to keep this down to an hour. So
okay.
There are two things that I want you to do. Close us out, and I also want you to tell everybody about Saturday, because I think Saturday is going to be a fantastic situation.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you brought that up. So this Saturday, I went ahead, and this is unlike anything you've ever seen before. You guys are doing Zoom, and you guys are experiencing Zoom, but there's a new way to host virtual events where there's breakout sessions. Zoom does have that, but there's something else that others don't, and it's called the speed networking aspect of it, where the system will go ahead and allow you to connect with other people that want to network with other people. And the way I set it up is that it's a total of 3 minutes, and people will be able to connect. Hey, how you doing? What do you do? Whatever. And if you guys want to exchange information, you click on the connect button, and it'll automatically exchange information, so that at the end of the event, you're able to pull everyone's list of everyone you've done. So it's called the COVID Recovery Summit. And what that means is that what do we have to do to get our businesses back on track? I've got 20 experts, to include lawyers, accountants, marketing experts, etc., to help share information on how to get money from the government. If you can't get money from the government, what are your options? Even if you're self-employed, we're going to have lawyers answering these questions in breakout sessions and in a fireside chat. We're going to have networking as well, so that way you can connect with other people. Plus, I've set up expo booths of other services that people are creating special offers right now, especially knowing that we don't have that many options out there because we can't go out there. So I've got vendors that are willing to give insane breaks, so that way they can offer their services. Plus, you guys can take advantage of it. Let me put the link in here real quick, so that way you guys get direct access to the ticket page. Hold on a second. Hop in. It's called the COVID Recovery Summit, and it starts at 11 and it ends at 6. You don't have to be there the entire time, but I'm telling you, you're gonna have a ton of value behind it. So hold on, let me put it here in the chat, right over here. You don't listen. This is a whole unlike any experience you've ever had before. even if the subject matter is you got enough information, but you want to network with people, you're going to meet all kinds of people in a whole different way that you've ever done before. So that's the event.
I'm gonna get that out to Facebook too for the folks that are watching on Facebook.
Yeah, we got a ton of people in here. We got business attorneys, bankruptcy attorneys, probate and estate. We got CPAs. We've got adjusters that know how to leverage your existing insurances to try to squeeze as much from your insurance to cover whatever losses you have. You got people that know how to manage remote teams, how to be productive, how to manage your time in a way where now that you're primarily home, what's the best advice to help you develop a productivity plan? Listen, there's so many different ideas that you're going to get that you will walk away with a bunch of nuggets. I mean, nice. When you go to an event, there's always probably one thing that you'll get excited for. I'm sure with 19, 20 experts, you're going to get a bunch more.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, man. Look, lots of information went out today. Carlos is fantastic. It's miamimarketer.com. Just look him up. Carlos and I have worked together on a couple projects already. As you can tell, when he was dropping down pixels, you caught mine in there. And
right, you saw it. That's right.
So I want you guys to just, soak this in. It's recorded. I'll get it up on YouTube by the end of the day, as well as on Facebook. Just go to my Facebook, David Adam Kurz, look for me, and you're going to see the whole thing's going to be on there because it was all out live on Facebook. And I put all the links in there as well. So very easy to figure this out. And guys, make sure that you send the text message Enterprise 1 to 33222. Enterprise 1 to 33222. I'll type that in. Enterprise 1 and send that to 33222. All right. So, and when you do that, you'll get it. You'll always have access to the different sessions that we're hosting. Really good stuff for the next couple weeks. We're going to be talking about teams and team development. So now we just told you how to stay in contact with everybody. We spent an abundant amount of time with that. We've talked about COVID too. We're blue in the face. So it's just a hot topic right now, right? And next week we're going to have Riley Smith on. Riley Smith, as you may or may not know, is a super duper $200 million top producer out of Coconut Grove, and it's got a 30-person team. And then after that, we're going to have Luis on, who also runs a really successful team here in Miami. So we've got 2 weeks of team development and team business, and what those major teams are doing in today's market to stay relevant and move forward. So you guys have a fantastic day. And thank you, Carlos, again, for doing this with me. Always, always, always a pleasure to do sessions with you, man.
You're very welcome, man. Thank you for having me, guys. All right.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.